Hello, this is Bridget Route with Divine Essentials. Alright, try this again. I started having like a heat overload and got mad. And like the time before that, somebody called. And the time before that, I just kind of got lost in my words. So this is like my fourth attempt to do this. And I had intended to do this the night before, but I didn't get a chance to because I did a long video on the Bridget Route channel in regards to Lionsgate, where I talked about it, and I did like an energy reading. And I feel like some people can benefit from that, even if you're not necessarily somebody that is like here for twin flame stuff. It was about like mindset and manifesting and abundance and things like that. But when I'm over there, it's usually trying to like help people who are dealing with the twin flame situation, and so that comes through a lot. But you can always apply the things that we were talking about to just other areas, like manifesting your career, your soul purpose, whatever it is. And with the Lionsgate, I had wanted to make you guys a video of, like a little energy check-in of like, hey, this is what you guys can do, or, be aware of this. But just didn't have time. It was like, I can't do, after a certain point, it's kind of like, all right, I missed it. And the meditation, I ended up posting over there. I tried to get it onto the Divine Essentials channel, but by the time it was uploaded, I had passed out. I fell asleep at the little table beside my bed and was like, ugh. So I waited until the morning. You can use that meditation anytime. You don't have to do it just during the Lionsgate. 8-8 is the height of the energy, but it builds up. It starts way before, builds up, gets stronger. 8-8 is like the potent time. And then after that, it's going to, kind of wind down a little bit. But that energy is really good for manifesting abundance, for attracting things into your life, connecting with the Lyrans, who are, the half feline race, and they kind of look like the Sphinx. And they remind me of ancient Egypt. They have that royal, regal, powerful, just manifestors, their masculine vibration, and they are very fast with their manifesting. But the problem is, if they're focused on negative things or sad things or bad things, they get those things really quickly. And we all have that ability right now under this energy. We also had the Leo new moon on the 8th. So Leo is the sign that's, associated with the lion, and it was on Lionsgate. And then, get the Lyrans. So it's like a bunch of but it's also good for creativity. It's good for people to feel confident to try something that they may have wanted to try, or to do something that they may have wanted to do, but maybe they were like, I don't know if I'm good enough for that, or I don't know if I'm ready for that, or whatever. Just sometimes we don't feel ready to do things, or that we would know how to do something, or that we're worthy of that. But right now is a good time to try something new, or feel confident enough to do the thing that you've been wanting to do or say or whatever. I do have my Celestial Oracle. So basically, if you're here later on after the Lionsgate, you can, still apply these things to your life. It's not going to be probably as potent as it is right now. But I just want to give you guys like a couple of little things just to see what you might need to know. All right, so we have lasting impressions. So basically, whatever's going to happen right now is going to be having a lasting impression. And I did hear that right now, like the babies or the children that come through, or, people get pregnant, those are going to be the next wave of beings, right? We've had the blue rays, who were the first ray that came in. They set the pace of energy starting to accelerate, people starting to wake up. If you think about, like, they were more predominantly like the 60s, like the that type of energy of like the hippies, right? Like they wanted to burn their bras and do all this crazy stuff. They like came in, before, but that energy still exists, like it's, and you can still resonate with that energy at a later time. Like for me, I was born in 84, but I resonate way more with like Blu-ray stuff than I do indigo. But I know I have indigo stuff too, it's like I was like in between. It's like we send this like mixture in, because the indigos are more in your face. They're more like we're not gonna take it. We're gonna fight back, and we're powerful. And the Blu-rays are like, I'm just gonna hide over here And they usually are awake or have gifts or intuitive, but they may suppress them for a long time, and then as they get older they may start to embrace their truth and feel better about coming out to the open. But they were needed in order to bring in the energy and frequency to get it to the appropriate place to bring in the indigos. And then the indigos did the same thing, and they allowed for the crystals and the rainbows to come in. So now we've got crystal and rainbow children here, and like they're raising the vibration up even higher, and then the next wave will come. And those kids will probably be like robots coming out. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're basically going to have a lasting impression. So this energy that we're in is powerful. I know some people have said something about like a 3.5 year cycle thing, and I did have somebody ask me about that. Like, I now have a newsletter going out once a month, so if you're not on that, basically you can go to DivineEssential.com, and on the home page, like when you just go to my website, a little form pops up, you put your name in, and that signs you up to get my emails. So once a month I'm going to be sending out newsletters, and in that was like an opportunity for people, if they have a question about something that's, not just soul serving, of like self-serving, like, oh, how does my twin flame feel about me? Because I'm not going to answer that in a public newsletter. But if it's something like what this person asked, like, what is this 3.5 year thing, that's more apt to get answered into the newsletter. If I don't like respond to her personally, and if I get too many, like, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. So that's already been put out there. Like, you might get it, you might not. It depends on your question, and it depends on like how many others are. But that's available for people, and that question did come through about what is this 3.5 year thing. I'm not quite sure. I feel like it's probably the kid thing, because I had the kid thing come to me before I heard about the kid thing, where I was talking on a live on Instagram, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I don't know what they're going to do for the next ones. And that was like not that long ago. It was within this like last 30 days at least. And, then I'm hearing that these new waves of beings are coming in, and they're like the next wave. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I was like into that a little bit, which happens a lot. So it's kind of like my confirmation of like, you were onto something there. So that is, I think, a big part of it. I know that the twin flames are always impacted by these things, and I feel like that might be something too, where it's like maybe people are starting to step into a new role or into a new cycle that's going to be 3.5 years long, and I think it's going to be different for everybody. So it just depends on you, and pay attention to like what's going on in your life. What cycle have you been in? Is it ending? Are you shifting it? Are you creating a new one? And see how that goes. Because I've definitely been shifting. Like, the twin flame stuff has been something that's kind of came in and took over. I started off as a starseed. Like, one of my first big video on Bridget channel was a starseed channel. It was a message to the light workers, a message to the starseeds. And it had like 15,000 views on it. And that was from, before. A good majority of time before I started, twin flame stuff. Twin flame stuff kind of just like, I was like poking them in there. I was like doing like a starseed reading, doing a Syrian reading, doing like a trance channeling, doing like this, just randomly whenever I wanted to. And then I poked in a couple of twin flame ones, and it was like overnight. Everybody came in and was like, twin flame. And then they were like, pick a pile. And I'm like, okay. So I was doing a lot of pick a piles, and I still get comments every day. I miss your pick a cards. I just don't feel like I can really do those the way I was. Maybe occasionally, but not like I was ever, because that was just too much, and a lot of people abuse them. They take them and they like manipulate what you say, which they can do with any reading, but I feel like a different energy when I do a different reading. I don't know. But I've been feeling like this pull to kind of come out of that and be more so in my original way of working in this stuff was, I supported other people with their stuff. Like, do you want to be a light worker? Do you want to do light work? Do you want to have your own business? Do you want your own website? Do you want to be somebody that has like a YouTube following? You're somebody that wants to do tarot readings, and you don't have to be online. You can do it in your local community. You can open a shop, whatever. But that's how I started off, was helping other people with their business, giving them ideas, giving them tools, giving them like the little tips that I have like in there for some reason. And it's not like your traditional type of stuff, because we're not your traditional type of people. Traditional marketing and, you know, stuff like that doesn't always jive with us, because we're intuitive people. We see beyond the bullshit. You know, they're like, use some scarce marketing, like scare them and making them think that they're not going to get it, you know, make them feel like, I better hurry up. I can't do that type of stuff unless it's true, unless it's like gonna be true that like there's only a couple of these and when they're gone. Like, I'll say it then, but I can't lie, you know. Like I don't want to, and like, you know, just things like that. So I'm getting back into like basically coaching, soul coaching of the people, whatever they need, you know, like finding your purpose or really aligning to that purpose and accelerating it, applying it, and getting better with things. So that, I feel like, is going to be a cycle. And I'm still going to do other stuff. I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to be here. I feel like this is where most of those people are too. I feel like that's the thing. I feel like I've kind of like neglected my star people by dealing with the twin people. But with the twin people, there's like only so much you can do for them. And then it gets to like a point where it's like they need to decide for themselves what they're going to do, you know. And I don't want to like be ingrained deeply into that to the point where it's like that's all I do or all I have time for, or make things worse for people, because sometimes people are dealing with stuff that they shouldn't be, and they listen to these readings and they're like, you know, manipulating it to fit better. They're like, oh, but he's met twin flame, and it's okay that he beat the crap out of me, or it's okay that he did this, or it's okay that he did that, because unconditional love. And it's very unhealthy. Like, I see comments just randomly on, like, because people add me to these groups for twin flames, and I see like a comment the other day where it was like, how do I find my person? Like, this guy is asking, like, how do I get in contact with her, because I'm done with my work and I need to get to her now, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, she don't even know who he is, and he's out there thinking this, and he's like asking people how to get to her, and I'm like, oh my god, like, and how do you know you're done doing your thing? He's like, I'm done helping people, like, I'm all done with my soul work. I'm like, no, you're not. Nobody's ever fucking done. And if you were, she wouldn't be somewhere you couldn't find her, because she'd be right there, because you'd be done. So but basically, that type of stuff is constantly happening, constantly being seen, and I'm like, it's hard to turn a blind eye, you know. So you may be having things like come up that are testing your integrity, or testing your authenticity, or testing you as a person, your soul, and like what you want to do in this world at this point. And it may be like a pivoting time where it's like, you know what, I've been on this path, I'm going to shift over here to this path. So it may have a lasting impression. And we have dualistic divination. It's this balance between the creator and receptor, which is basically, you know, you got to give to receive, you got to receive to give. It's like a two-way street. It's masculine and feminine balanced out. Masculine pursues, provides, protects. Feminine receives, is, you know, receptive and kind of like flows. She's a feeler. She's intuitive. She's like in the shadows. He's in the light. He's like logical. It's like the yin and the yang, and you need both of those energies to be balanced for you to really have like a good flow of give and take and receiving, and, you know, having enough to give and all of that. I've noticed whenever I give, I receive. You know, like if I give away things, or I help people for free, or you know, do something of value for somebody, it always comes back to me in another way, you know, or in some certain thing. But you need to be balanced in that. You can't just be like all one way. And a big problem in our society now is for the feminines, because we want to run a business, or we need to run a business, or we need to take care of ourselves, because not a lot of men are out there like being like, hey, I'll take care of you. But that may be a feminine man who's too much in his feminine energy, and you may be a woman that's in your masculine energy, because you need to fucking provide, you need to take care of yourself and your children, right? So that causes imbalances, and that causes like a disconnect. Like if you have a masculine man, he may be intimidated by a masculine feminine or woman, and it can make like dynamics weird. It can make people be like, I don't know how to deal with you. So you want to be more mindful about your energy. Like if you're somebody that has to provide and protect and pursue for your food and your, money and shelter, children, whatever, then you want to be more like, hey, how can I like soften up and be feminine when it's time to like connect with a dude or if I'm dealing with a dude, or where can I find a dude that can handle that? Because some dudes are good and they like that. They want you to be in your power. Some dudes are not, and they're going to be intimidated by it, and there's not much you can do about it except for hope that they get their shit together and realize like, hey, it's not a big deal. But it's still a balancing act. You don't want to be constantly in your masculine energy because you're just going to run yourself ragged before, you're like, But if you are able to get into the feminine and receive, it makes it easier to receive the benefits of the stuff that you're going out and pursuing. And the last one is Jupiter, which is about luck and expansion and wisdom, healing, influence, wealth, love, law, like love, law, religions, higher education, big business, international travels. So, you may have some big things going on, or you may start to change some ideas in regards to those things, or you may just get like abundantly lucky in an area of your business, or you may change your religion or your belief systems, or you may have some sort of healing, influence in your life, or you may acquire some wisdom. And Sagittarius energy is like about freedom, like they don't want to be like bogged down, so that may be something like I can't do this 9 to 5 anymore, I'm gonna go work for myself. I'm going to be free. I'm going to get out of here. And then clarity will shine upon you. Again, open your eyes and smile with new friends. So you might go find a new community, new people that you want to hang out with. Get out of, stagnation and cut your cords. Call on Archangel Michael. Cut the cords to the old people or the old situations or the things that are draining you so that you are able to go into that time of expansion because you're about to go in that. So it's going to be a good time, I feel, for a lot of people, especially if they honor their truth and they do what they're guided to do by their soul. They're not like, I'm going to let fear keep me over here, or I'm going to, know that I should but not do it, or I'm going to wait, put it off, So I think that there'll be some perspective shifting, and I just have Gemini and Mercury here, so I think there might be something to do with, like, communications, or even just like a dualistic type of approach to something. Like you may be split down the middle of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is dualistic perceptive communication, and this is communication, travel, relationships, technology, electronics, day-to-day expression, intelligence, elegance, messages, logic, rationale, and memory. So you may be like, I need to be logical about my approach to this new thing that I'm going to do, but this thing that I'm going to do is going to be like pursuant of blah, blah, blah. And, this may be like, I need to do this approach to, balancing out my energies so that I don't go too far into the weird, woohoo, crazy land. And look at that, I think can communicate. This is another Gemini energy, Mercury energy, and it's about, communication and community, and media. So you may end up like getting onto social media. You may make yourself a place that you can, share your wisdom and, go out there and be expansive and connect and do your role as a light worker, and just basically change things up for yourself. So that could be happening. And I feel like, these things that have been going on energetically or on a grand scale outside of us basically have been aligning a lot with the energies that we're doing in this stuff with Alcyone light healing. And there's Jupiter again, but it's the other card. In this deck I have two sets of planets. There's the set that comes with the deck automatically, which is colored planets, but I also had added these because these are matching the aesthetics of the deck, and that's what I had set out to do, was to match. But then I found these, and they looked better than a lot of the ones, like, I wasn't crazy about some, like, Jupiter I liked, but there was some that I was like, I don't like that, I don't mind the sun, but it ended up having to, because I'm weird, and I was like, but it doesn't match, what if somebody wants it to match, so they can get their colored planets with the deck for free, and then they can add their plain planets in for a little extra thing, and it's like I add like a little mini version deck on, and you have 2 sets, so it's like you get extra confirmation on those times when they both pop out. Which was funny because we had the Jupiter, and then it was like, boop, here I am again. Which happened in the last reading I did, where it's like it jumped twice for Earth and then Venus. So, yeah, that's how life is. All these little confirmations and synchronicities. I do also have a manifesting journal on my website and on Etsy that I did recommend to people right now, you know, or to just do the things that are in it. Visualizing would be a good thing to do for this time. You know, getting clear, like, what do I want to manifest for money? What do I want to manifest for my love? What do I want to manifest for my health and things? And then, like, a vision board would be a good way to, like, help bring that forward. You know, what do you want? Do you want a house, like, in the hills? Do you want a house in the city? Do you want kids? Do you want a dog? Do you want whatever? Whatever it is that you really want, you would go get, like, images of those things or things that represent those things. You can cut out words out of magazines. You can cut out letters out of magazines to make your words. And you basically, like, make, like, a map. Actually, I found mine last night from, I can't remember. It was at least a year ago. I went over to this person's house and, like, brought all my stuff with me to show them how to do this. So this one's a little messed up. Some of the pieces fell off. But this is like a what you would do, all right? So you would get your words. So it's like, summer of love, you do it all. I'm an idiot. Like, yeah, that sounds like me. Let the spirit maiden guide you, otherworldly, allure, romance, youthful, glowing, 18,000, 20,000, 5 million, 50 million. You know, just little things that would be good to have. And I was like, I don't know, I was kind of like in this mode of like, I'm showing you what to do, so I wasn't really necessarily like in like the full-on mode of like, I like to do things by myself. When I do things like spiritually, like a ritual or something, I like to do them for myself or by myself. I do them like for you guys, but like other stuff I do privately, like people don't see it. So this is love, one beautiful day, the best is yet to be. I don't know what the thing said, but it said something. Now it says fame. It says fame. Trust your journey, set your life on fire, seek those who fan your flames. You know, just little things like that. If I know what love is, it is because of you. And I have like tons of like scrapbooking stuff, so I like brought that stuff over there. And we just kind of made our little things. There's little butterflies that represent transformation, all types of stuff. So whatever you want is what you would put on your board, and you just make it how you want it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. You can put it up in your room, somewhere that you would see it occasionally. So there's like gonna program that subconscious to give them a reminder that it's on its way to you. Another good thing is to just get clear on what you want. Like, you don't have to go through all of that, but you could just make a list of like, I want, I need, I will wear, I will eat, I will read. Then there's like a New Year's goals where it's like, I give you some goals that you could try to be like, this is what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to accomplish these things this year, but then there's a spot for you to do your own. Like, I'm going to get this going, this going, this going. So, because when we don't have like a plan in place, it doesn't work out. Like, even like a business plan. If you don't put a business plan in place, it's like you don't really know what you're trying to do. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to create? So you want to do those things. This is only one of them, but this is the 6-month extended vision. This is like where you would write out like, all right, like the first one is like, all right, what am I trying to create? This is what I'm doing. And then there's like a 3-month extended one, and then a 6-month extended one. So it's like, what does it look like in 3 months? What does it look like in 6 months? What does it look like a year from now? So that you have an idea of that progression, it makes it easier for you to manifest because you're seeing it. How's it going? You know, oh, look at it, it's going good. I'm going to have this by this time, and I'm going to do this to get to this time. This is my goals and my set thing that I have. I have goals and deadlines every month that I need to do to get to a certain place. And then there's like a gratitude area for you to do your gratitude list, which you could do daily, or you could just like do a couple things a day. There's the circle, which I have a whole video on the channel about, where you use a circle to manifest money. I think the video is called Manifest $10,000 with a Circle. Something like that. So if you just type in like my Divine Essentials Circle video or Manifest Money with Circle, it might pop up. And basically you write in the present tense what your reality is that you're trying to attract. I was able to do a lot of things with this. Like, and I took it in steps. I didn't just go from like 0 to 100. I was like, I'm gonna attract $100. You know, like I am making X amount of money a week, or I am making X amount of money a month, however you want to word it. I am happy in this situation. I am this in this situation. Whatever it is you're trying to shift or change or do, you put it in like you've already got it. Like, I am making $10,000 a month, or I am running a 6-figure business, or I am happy in love. The last time I did the happy in love thing, I manifested a narcissistic partner for a decade, and I put him in there specifically. I put his name on it, and this was before my awakening. I had a book called The Circle back when I was younger, and it was like, beep, 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 beep. And I did it, and I put him in it, and then when I was living with him, I found the book in the paper, in the book, and I was like, oh my god. So I kind of did it to myself. But I think it's a good idea to avoid people, like, people have free will. You can say, I'm happy in love, but try not to be like specific about a person, because if that person's not a good person for you, you don't want them to come, because then it's going to just kind of take you all away from the good things in life. Then there's like a to-do list, a notes to self, like a daily thing. There's a daily thing, a weekly thing, and a monthly thing for you to have. The vision board, the visualizing of those things that you would like to have in your life in different areas. Negative versus positive, like how to take the things, like, because all of us block ourselves with our beliefs and the things that we speak about us and about each other and all of that. So it's like, let's reprogram that, like, instead of I can't, I don't, like, I can't do it, or I can't make money, or I can't run a business, or I can't, whatever the hell you tell yourself, you want to turn that into I can, right? I can run a business, I can make money, I can be happy, or I don't have this, I don't know this. But everybody tells me, I don't know. But they say the answer immediately after saying, I don't know. I do it too. I'm like, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And I give the answer. But we always are saying, I don't know, when we do know. So you'd be like, I do know, blah, 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 blah. Or I do, like, what positive things do you do that you can kind of, like, spin off of the I don't. Like, I don't do this, but I do this. My brain goes to, like, sexual things. I'll never to I will. So, like, I'll never get to that beautiful island, or I'll never see this, or I'll never have, union, or I'll never be here, I'll never do that, I'm never gonna have it. I will have it. I will be there. I will go to that place. I will manifest this thing that I want. And then I won't is basically, very much similar to these others. So however you find yourself wording these things negatively, like, it's basically just like your limited belief tracker, like, where am I sabotaging? Where am I not showing up for myself? Where am I, and then make that day to day. I've always wanted to do what? Why I've always wanted to do it, and how I'm going to do it, What is it? Why is it? How are you going to do it? Instead of like, I would really like to one day, but you don't have any reason why, and you don't have any plan on how, so it's never going to happen. But if you put it in a paper, you come up with a plan, it's much more likely to happen. And then there's a status report, so you can check in at some point and be like, this is how it's going. My main manifestations are this, the tasks that I've got left to be done, and the things that have been completed. And then we have self-care sheets in here. It's like, what am I going to do today? I'm going to do this or this. It could be a daily mood tracker or the daily gratitude list. I'm going to go to bed early, or I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to hang out with my friends, or I'm going to hang out with my family. I'm going to do this or that. And however that feels appropriate for you. And then with the self-care check-in, it's like, what things do you do? Like, do you do these things on a regular basis? And if not, like, what things haven't you checked off? Start checking them off. Start doing them. Checking them off, so that you can say that you're caring for yourself and having a balance in your life, and you're being in the receptive feminine energy, taking a nice relaxing bath with a candle going, rather than doing some crazy shit that's like master manifesting, planning, and coding, and logic. And then we have the weekly schedule. Like I said, we have an abundance tracker that's like a monthly, like, this is what I did this month, this month, and this month. Like, I got this, I got that, I got this. Like, you want to track your record of wins, because it's like, yeah, look at what I'm doing good. And also there's like these little checks from the universe. There's 3 of them that come like on the main printout. And that's the thing with this. It's like you print this out when you're done, like, or when you hit the goal, or when another month comes, or whatever thing in it that you want to do, you just print it again. And you don't have to print the whole thing again. You can print the things you need again. Like, I need another daily thing, I need another weekly thing, I need another monthly thing. I just made it like so that people could have like the basic without having to like scan through a billion pages if they're going to be using it on their phone as like the guide, because you could just get a plain notebook and do these exercises in a plain notebook, save paper, or ink or whatever. And the checks from the universe, you just write out like however much, you know, like $1,000, $10,000, $50,000. And when you get to that money, then you write yourself another check. And like the same thing with the circle. When you get the goal in the circle, you want to change the circle up so that it's a new goal, aligned to a new thing. Like, I went from, you know, that $100 to the $500 to the $1,000 to the $5,000 to the $10,000, and it just keeps going up. And every time you hit it, you go to the next one. But you don't want to go from one extreme to the big thing, because you don't know what that feels like. You know, that's so like with the checks, same concept. You want to use those in a way of like, okay, like, I'm gonna get there, but like, I'm not gonna get there that quickly. So like, and I don't even know what that feels like, because you gotta feel it. What does it look like, taste like, smell like, feel like to have that amount of money? If you already have $500 every week, it's not hard for you to figure out like what that's gonna feel like to have $1,000 every week. So, but when you get there and you've maintained that and you figured that out, then you can take it up a notch with the vibration and frequency, and then keep going and keep going and keep going. That's what I've done. With tools like this and concepts like that. And this is like $8. So you can use this, or you can use the other one that I have, that is the workbook, which is actually more so about healing too. So it's like, you can use your tarot or your oracle, and each day you have an activity. So do belief work, shadow work, inner child work, past life work, and then we have like journal prompts where you journal. It's like the first one is like, you know, tell me 5 things you don't like about yourself, because a lot of us sabotage and don't do things that we, you know, believe in about us. We're like, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm fat. So there's a spot where you would be like, okay, those are the 5 things about me that I don't like, and we're gonna like work on changing those things up a little bit. But say you get to the next part here, where there's a spot for you to like do your card, and what the message is that you took from the card, like the name of the card, the meaning of the card, and what the message is you took from the card, but it's in a correlation to what the thing is. So it says, you know, shuffle up your deck. It could be a tarot deck or an oracle deck, and you can shuffle and let cards jump, or you can shuffle and then like fan it out. If you're not a good person at shuffling, just like fan it out, and when you do, you pull 3 cards out. And that's going to be able to tell you, what do I need to accept about me? So if you get that, and, you know, you get some cards, like, you get the Emperor, or you get whatever, like, there's cards right here. I can't get any of them up. So then there's the Oracle, right? So this says, Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. I've been making, like, miniature courses, and like planning those out, because I know this is a big thing for people. It's like overwhelming for some people. They can't do it or won't do it because it's so big and time thing, you know. So I've been making like miniature courses, but those miniature courses, even by doing that, is going to be more so like specific on a topic, because I've been able to really like succeed with a lot of different things. So I can help other people to really succeed in a specific area or a specific thing, and have like, you know, the whole shebang. So it's like I'm teaching, but like I just gotta let myself do that. So don't let anything stop me, like line, right? And the Emperor, This is like, this is my masculine energy. This is me pursuing, protecting, providing. This is me going out into the world and being like, I'm going to manifest my empire, and I'm going to create some stuff, and I'm going to help other people to do it too. And I'm going to do it good, and I just keep going and keep going and keep going. And then, oh, I got a twin flame that I have to deal with at the same time. So I'm probably going to have to be like a little bit of this too. But right now, what my role is teaching. So I'm going to teach, and I'm going to heal, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to do what I need to do, bust my ass doing it, and I'm okay with that. Like, you know, gotta be okay with that. Because, like, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to do that, I can't do that, I'm tired, and I don't feel good, and my body hurts, get over it, get out there, do it, and do it the way you're guided to do it, and stop dragging your feet, and stop procrastinating, you know, embrace your new beginning, whatever. So whatever cards you were to get, you want to intuitively read those of like, oh, that's how I need to do this. All right, this is what I need to accept about myself. And the great thing about that book is like, you do it, and when you're done, you do it again, and do it again, do it again, because each time you get different cards. But the universe is going to give you the cards that you're meant to have, the messages you're meant to see, that are going to make sense for you. You figure it out. Like, sometimes it may be like, what? I don't understand. But if you really tap into your intuition, you will, because it may not be the obvious thing, like, oh, but it may be like the exact opposite of what that card is. Like, oh, you know, like, think of it in the terms of like, because sometimes when I read cards, I don't pull reversals out. I always show people like the full, like, up, but I still read what a reversal meaning is by the energy that I pick up off of the card. I don't need to see the card upside down to feel that energy, or to know what that energy is, based off of the cards that came out around it, or based off of like the circumstances that I'm reading for, or the people that I'm reading for, or whatever. So it's all intuitive, but it's a good way for people to, you know, do the soul work that's needed, and to establish like better reading skills, because you're doing stuff with the decks every day and getting better with how to read them intuitively. Like day 3, go through the tarot of your choice, separate all the major arcana, like if you're doing that, or if you're doing the oracle, you just want to find an oracle deck that has words or keywords on it that mean something. And then if it is an oracle, you may use the whole deck, and when you get one, it says, now look at that card and ask how often or how you can embody the same energy to benefit your life. Or in some cases, ask, what energy have I been into deep with? Like, you know, it depends on what card it is. Because if you do that and you get this guy, and you're like, I do this all the time. I run in and tell the truth to everybody everywhere I go. I'm constantly speaking my truth. I'm constantly delivering unpopular truths. I'm constantly... Then you might need to back that up, you know? So that's in there to help people. Be like, hey, which one is it? Do you need to embody it, or do you need to, like, back it up? Because if you need to back it up, that might be something better to be paying attention to. And then once you do, you reflect on your thoughts, you know, and write it down, like why you think that and how you can do that and stuff like that. And this is a big one. This is 88 pages. And so there's a lot of stuff, like there's mirror work, there's inner child work, there's past life work, there's like routines you can do, visualizations you can do, like little activities that you can do. 3, 6, 9 for manifesting. We're going to do 3, 6, and 9. But yeah, this one's like $10 and the other one's $8. I think it's not more than that, but those are them. And those will help you with manifesting, regardless of what time of year it is. Alright, so for level 5, I should probably do a separate video. I'm going to do a separate video.